a wild year. Like, every Saturday just changes the whole course of the tournament.
We're hitting the final stretch.
The kill feed is all orange. They're sending a message.
OpTic Gaming, a different animal than what we have seen so far.
Again, OpTic Gaming lighting it up.
London look unstoppable.
Sniper straight away!
Oh, Waskins, you dirty boy!
Hemp. McClelton for the 1v4.
Brilliant stuff from the York Subliners.
What a comeback!
It's so simple for Atlanta.
Another grand final.
Salian puts him down. Solid hold from Toronto. This is just all Toronto.
Methods don't fire.
This is great work.
Dallas Empire, the victors.
Krim gonna go absolute god mode here.
Florida close it out.
And they will get their second home series win.
4 events left. We'll see what happens.
It's just wild at the top.
Hello everyone, it's CDL Sunday here at the Paris Legion home series, which means one thing. We're going to be crowning a winner by the end of the day. Who is it going to be? You'll have to just keep tuning in, guys, and keep joining us all day long to find out. And also, happy Father's Day to all of those dads out there. You guys are killing it. Happy Father's Day, and a very big happy Father's Day to our 2 dads of the Call of Duty League. You've got Maven and Merc with us. Gentlemen, it's your day today.
Yeah, we were both dog dads, I guess. I got Copper, we got Lou. But no, I'll be honest with you. I just had to powder my face again with makeup because I had tears coming down my face from that Warzone weekend solo match. That was incredible, especially the player comms at the end. What a lot of fun that was. But it's just gonna ramp us up for CDL Sunday now. We had some awesome matches, Joe.
We do. Yeah, I cannot wait to see. I mean, these top 4 teams, especially that are left in this home series, just so close, right? These matches should be amazing.
Oh, they should be indeed. They're just me just back.
Yeah, I was like, what was that?
I know. Just I'm all over the shop today, gents. I'm too excited. I'm too on edge because, of course, we do have our bracket for you guys right now. Incredible stuff from a lot of our teams, and you know, 3 teams here we kind of expected to see in the semi-finals. A couple of teams along the way maybe going out not in the fashion we actually expected. OpTic Gaming, cough. But looking at our semi-finals right now, gents, I'm actually eyeing up right now to talk about FaZe Empire. Maven, who are you fancying for this matchup here? Because it's a bit touch and go with both of our teams.
I just
right now.
find it nearly impossible to count out FaZe right now. Whether they're playing great, whether they're playing poorly, they're going to a map 5 and they're clutching up seemingly every single time. My pick is with FaZe.
With FaZe, I like it. Let's have a look at our US Army schedule right now. It's CDL Sunday, of course. And you just saw the Warzone weekend. Mr. Rambo takes that one in the best way possible. I was loving it. But coming up first, we do have Florida Mutineers taking on New York Subliners. After that, it's Atlanta FaZe versus Dallas Empire for our second semi-final. And then, of course, it's the CDL Game Day presented by Game Fuel finals in the afternoon. Really exciting stuff. I guess we better talk about our first matchup, gents, which is, of course, Florida and New York. I am struggling to see New York take this one from Florida, and I'll tell you why, Maven. That is because they're a different team right now. They're on another level. I feel like we've been given a lot of different versions of teams across the season, and right now this Mutineers team is really, really hard to doubt. What are we thinking there?
Well, I think Subliners beat them last time they played 3-0, I think, but that was when we talked at length about how up and down the Mutineers have been all year. Like, that was one of their off events. They were on, they were off, all over the place, but it seems to be they finally found some consistency with Awakening. They're looking so strong. Joe, I don't know about you, but I am really struggling to see Subliners take this series off them.
Yeah, it just feels like what's scary, too, is it feels like not only did they win, they are also getting better, right? Like the last time they played Dallas, it goes all the way to a game 5, round 11. This time they played Dallas, and I'm like, all right, Dallas, they're going to be looking for revenge. And it's a 3-1, right? It felt like they played them even better, and not only are you not getting it you're getting it from Awakening, Skies is like leading the way right now. You know, at a 1.47 overall. Pharaoh is up there at a 1.26. Like, that big 3 is just it's scary form right now.
It is really scary. And talking about the big three, you know, we've got those three, Atlanta, Dallas, and Mutineers, who have already won 2 home series. Maven, who do you see taking the three-peat here?
Oh, God, I picked OpTic to win this event. I was real stupid with that one. I think if I wasn't going to take OpTic, I was going to go with Mutineers. I think they were going to be my pick, even though I had to argue against that on contesting the point. That's what I was thinking. Just because...
Ooh, tough.
I think a lot of us put a lot of stock in the short week. The fact that they get right back into it, there's not even a lot of scrims, they're just right back into action. You expect them to stay hot, but it's interesting because you say the big three, but yeah, they all have 2 wins as well. Like, this will be the first person to get that 3rd home series victor and likely jump to #1 in our power standings, power rankings if we're not already there. And for New York, I mean, they're one of only, I think, 5 teams that haven't been to a final yet. So this could be kind of groundbreaking territory for them if they're somehow able to do it. But I'm just glad we have the big three. It's CDL Sunday. The action should be incredible.
Absolutely will. Talking about New York as well, Maven, that you mentioned there. I mean, they're 2 for 8 right now against our top team. So that being Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Florida. They're really good against the middle of the pack and bottom of the pack. But Joe, when it comes to these big dog teams right now, do you see them being consistent enough and talented enough as a team to take a win?
Talented enough, absolutely. Like I think we've always talked about New York having the talent. You have some of best individual players that we've seen in Call of Duty, right? But inconsistent enough, that's where the problem comes in. Great respawn team. It's really around search and destroy. And when you really talk about Florida and Atlanta, what makes them, and even Dallas, what makes them so dangerous is they are so darn good at every single game mode, right? So you have to beat them in a search and destroy, and that's where I think their big issue just comes into play for New York. If they get better at search and destroy, even just going around 50% against those teams, they absolutely have a shot. Because you talk to some players, like, they truly believe that New York is one of the best hardpoint teams, if not the best hardpoint teams at times, when they're clicking on all cylinders.
They are, but the problem is Mutineers are a really good hardpoint team too. When you take a look at the last event, they went 6-2 in hardpoint. The only 2 losses, their first series against Huntsman. So yeah, usually if there's an upset, it comes through maybe the vetoes, if the better team has some weak maps, or I don't know, the underdog is really, really good in one particular mode, like Gorillas are in Search and Destroy. But the problem is, Subliners are worse in Search, they're worse in Hardpoint. So I don't know how they're going to do this. It's possible, but it's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough. We'll have to have a look when the maps and modes come up a bit later on. But let's talk about the Game Fuel Keys to Victory for New York, written by the one and only Nameless, of course. Maven, what are we thinking here?
We talked about accuracy and how we started off really hot Friday. And we talked a lot about like your kind of big AR matchup. Skies has maybe been the top AR in the game as of late. Like, his KD has been ludicrous. He's been so consistent really all year long, but especially now with Awakening on this lineup. What can accuracy do against Skies? He needs to try and neutralize him, and it's just not going to be easy because no one's really been able to slow him down. He's getting his game in and game out.
Absolutely is. Let's talk about Florida Mutineers next. Game Fuel Keys to Victory for these guys. Joe, Nameless has kindly written all of these out. Are we thinking he's on the track here?
Yeah, I think he is just sort of saying that they're a better search and destroy team. Like, so they should be able to deal with New York and search and destroy. And the only way I think that Nameless and probably ourselves sees Florida losing this is through the respawns, right? Through those hard points and maybe even the domination. So you just have to come out hot, right? Don't let New York run away with this series. We know on Sunday, single and limb, if you start slow, it can be very scary. But Florida, they've just been on point ever since we've seen this new roster.
For sure. We're going to have a look right now at the US Air Force maps and modes. Right, so I've actually had a little look at these, gents, in terms of stats-wise. And I actually think New York could take the first S&D because Florida are 3 for 6 on this, and they also lost to New York 2 times on this very map, S&D. So I'm thinking New York might actually take that second game, probably lose the first game. Pretty even stats across the board for the 2 teams here. And then depending on whether New York can actually get this hard point together and start to produce some really good respawns for us, you know, they have done previously, hello, accuracy, then actually we could see a game 5. Do you think I'm far off?
I think it's
there?
possible. I mean, Ramazza was the one map where New York was pretty decent at Search and Destroy. That's, remember, the Temp tweet, like, don't play me on Ramazza. Like, they've had some big wins there, and Temp individually has had some big games, but yeah, it's possible. Florida's so good right now.
They are so good, and I think that's the question, is whether or not Florida's best can be beaten by New York, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But do you know what? I'm going to leave it in your hands, gents, because we're getting into the game now. So have the best time ever, my
Let's go, LVP! LVP! All right, CDL Sunday, time for map 1. You saw the stats at the bottom of your screen. Both teams solid here with regards to the opening hard point. But Joe, I think you kind of nailed it. Like, this map 1 is way bigger for Subliners. They need to come out. They need to strike first. They need an edge in this series.
Yeah, and I'll repeat those again. So, Gunrunners 7-4 for New York, 6-2. These teams have not matched against one another, and there is that hot start. 4 dead right off. Is New York. They're going to get some control. They're going to find the first 10 seconds. Zuma, temp, accuracy. They tried getting aggressive, but they were shut down. And as soon as you get 4, Florida, they respond. But Attach was able to sneak on through and actually able to flip those spawns. So this is big for the Subliners.
Yeah, it's all I was watching. That number 1 on the minimap as he pushed through and everybody spawned on him. So great awareness there from Attach. Gets him position for next. He's able to take a big one-on-one gunfight against Havoc as well. Teammates spawn up around him. Now, who is that? Number 8. That's Frosty. That's tucked away directly outside of this warehouse. And we'll see if he can maybe get something crazy done to bring them back into this. He does get one. The insta trade is there, and looks like Subliner's going to be able to get set up early in this hard point.
And now the question is, can they hold on? Awakening was trying to get aggressive. He gets taken down. While they were fighting for those spawns, I will say, a lot of time earned on that first hill for Florida, up to 27 seconds. But here comes their first push, and they're a little bit staggered. Awakening spawns so far away, just now at the top of your mini-map, so he's on the opposite side. But Pharaoh and Havoc go down. For Frosty right now, him and Skies are just trying to do their best, but a very staggered push. This is not what you want if you're Florida. You gotta wait for each other off the spawns because you're seeing what's going on right now.
Well, it's Havoc still inside, just finessing and trying to leave the contest up. He actually takes down 2 players inside before he drops. Does that right as the reinforcements arrive, but Temp, Accuracy, and Attach light it up. Accuracy and Attach combined for 4 kills there to shut it down. That's like, what, 7-8 kills in a row for Subliners. So a nice little spree at the tail end of that. We'll give them a bit of the lead as we focus on the rotation over to minecarts. Look at number 5 on the minimap. That's Zuma that got set up over there early, but he's focused on the cut towards green. He's going to get caught as 3 players from Mutineers look to post up.
Attach still hasn't died yet. They're hunting him down middle of the map. He's trying to make plays, but a 6-0 start. Finally, Awakening is going to cut him down and try to control middle of the map as he takes down Zuma. That's going to be 4 dead, and you can see just they're inside of pipes. They're up near that secret door. Awakening on 4 spree now. I mean, how do you get nades on this if you're in New York, right? That's typically what we see. Those nades just come over the top and put a lot of damage onto both Pharaoh and Skies, but you have the trophy. You had so much map pressure. Not until 25 seconds into this hill are we going to see the first push from New York.
And the first push seems to be completely and utterly thwarted for now. Lead change over to Florida Mutineers. A wave of kills does come in for Subliners as they get in with just over 20 seconds remaining and still have Mutineers spawning in the back. So they're finally able to get in, but yeah, what a great early setup it was for Mutineers.
A nice response from New York, at least fighting for the last 25. Skies and Frosty, though, they're going to go for it one more time. We're going to take a look of the map as most of New York starting to get set up over towards crates. That hill's going to pop. You have Havoc already in position with Dead Silence. Him and Pharaoh going to take down 2. And you see what Havoc does. He tries to just push on through, cut off the reinforcements, and really just trying to play his life. Awakening throws that trophy down. But the goal really for Florida, hanging on to that left side spawn area. Try to get set up for a warehouse.
And try to make sure it's not 40 clean seconds here for Subliners if you can. But so far, they haven't really been able to disrupt this. So they're going to need a strong answer once we head to warehouse. Zuma will fall at the edge. Still 2 players inside of bathrooms. 4 Mutineers. They're trying to push forward to get him out. Nice little slide cancel there around the edge for Awakening as he'll shut down Temp, get trophy out, and look to do more damage. Accuracy, a lovely finesse for a moment, but it's a team kill. Oh, it's a team kill, and Awakening gets the next one. So a crazy little sequence there.
Oh, and right there, I think you would just love Zuma just try to stay alive in this area. You don't want to go down right as the nice hill's going to pop. You do have Temp, though, already on minecart side, but 3 going to go down. As Frosty was just going through that pipe shop, and here comes the push. Temp, though, he is all alone, just trying to wait for his teammates, and his teammates starting to push through forest.
Here comes the push, and it's a big one now for Subliners. Frosty able to eliminate Temp, but the rest of the swarm now in for Subliner. Skies, nice shots over the top. Little bunny hop to the backside, and he smokes accuracy. Skies at the main AR has been ludicrous as of late. Right now, just 9 and 11, but expect him to pick it up as he's been, just from a stat standpoint, he's been special.
Yeah, I have, and even with him having an average game, I mean, his team is able to take the lead. We're going to get set up for the next hill. In Florida, what a few of their players are trying to do is flip those spawns. Havoc, he's left all alone. He's got a few players to deal with New York, just trying to stay alive. But he does get taken down. Nice job by accuracy.
It's 5 in a row for Pharaoh currently. He just actually ended up falling, so the streak will end there. The first time through this hardpoint, I mean, you don't usually see a lot of time earned, but it was like 45 combined points that the teams were able to rack up. So one of the more lucrative first hardpoints we have. We'll see what happens now in the second set of rotations. Still 40 seconds left on this to earn it as Subliners look to get into the mix, but that doesn't last long as Pharaoh able to take over control of the objective.
I thought the flip was going to come through. I thought Frosty did it on the flank, but one player was able to stay alive long enough inside a bathroom. So all 5 didn't go down for New York. They were able to hold on to that right side of the minimap. But as you said, even while that was going on, you had Florida just on the hill. You put so much just pressure on the spawns. New York going to give up some time. Frosty's going to fight for that final 10. They increase their lead to about 45 seconds.
Depot will pop. And this is what you love to see if you're Subliners. Kills right as the next hard point's up, and Temp with the movement eliminates Frosty. Now we'll go to Accuracy's POV in the window. He's going to have a legion of players in front of him, but the wallbang does come through for Awakening. Unfortunately for Mutineers, that's really the only kill you get in that sequence. The rest come from Subliners. Mac now inside. What can he do? He's got the crossfire there with attached to hold on. A lovely hold for Subliners so far, and nearing a lead change now as Mutineers a bit staggered on the push again for this hard point.
Yeah, and I think at times it's easy to do because the spawns are so close, right? Like, it's just like, it doesn't seem to matter sometimes, but I don't know. I still think it's probably worth just waiting 1 or 2 seconds outside in the corner, but they proved me wrong. Yeah. Skies is able to find those last 2 kills, make the individual play, and I think that's it as well. A lot of the times there's so much finesse inside of that depot where you can just play your life, make the gunfights a little bit chaotic, and a lot of the times it's just an individual play that turns into a break.
Yeah, once the parallel spawn is in, it feels like jetpack hardpoint. At some points, like, it's just spawn, go, spawn, go, spawn, go. Just get there as fast as you can.
Go. Spawn, nade, go, yeah.
Well, Skies started to heat up a little bit there with a 5 spray, but it's Havoc. Lead the way for Mutineers with 24 kills. Attached on the other end, 24 and 14 for Subliners. Still basically a tie game, but Minecart currently locked down by Subliners. The pinch comes in from Mutineers. Looks like they're able to clear it for a moment. The last player coming through vent room is going to be Pharaoh that might be able to disrupt this pinch from Subliners, and it looks like he is able to do just that. Pharaoh gets the 2 kills, keeps them alive, keeps them in action around the objective.
Yeah, but I mean, Pharaoh did have to try it back, so I think it was Mac or attached that stayed alive in that corner where Pharaoh couldn't deal with his teammates. Pharaoh, he had to push on through, try to just pinch that hill, where you would like to him just hold the door, right? Just hold that door, just watch the cross, but a good job. And one of the New York players to stay alive, eat up some of that time. Now over to Cargo. As well in New York, they're going to get control, and due to Accuracy's position where he's on the 5 spree, we saw him get that 2-piece at the end of that minecart hill. He's going to flip those spawns.
See how long he can keep this spree going as we'll get over to Accuracy's POV. That'll be number 6. That's an easy pick as he catches Awakening sprinting. Another big gunfight win there from Accuracy. Streak up to 7. Almost makes it 8, but Havoc hopping around the edge will put an end to the streak. Now approaching the 210-point mark is Subliners. They can take this game. And what a big map 1 victory it would be to set the tempo for this best of 5 against Mini's favorite of this tournament.
And I mean, a lot of the times towards the end of Gunrunners, what do we see? It's a good chunk of time, maybe not completing the game at Warehouse, but it forces that opposing team to make a decision and fight for both spawns and that first hill. Can New York do it here? Can they hold on long enough to where they put Florida in that position? Frosty and Sky's going to find the opening kills, but they're immediately responded by accuracy and Zuma locking it down.
They can win it here with a big hold. It's Sky's trying to work around the back. His teammates coming off spawn and trying to get in position. Temp still being a beast mid-map to kind of delay and stagger this push. Skies will get caught on the backside. Now Pharaoh and company trying to burst in through the front door, but the hold still there from Subliners. Now just 10 points away from locking this down. They've got everybody set up inside. This is the final push now from Mutineers. The map 1 upset seems to be in the making, but now 4 kills from Mutineers. Was that enough to keep them alive for another hard point? They're not quite out of the woods yet. Not quite out of it yet. That might be the final kill unless Havoc can get in, and he can test just long enough to get us to another point.
Yeah, but this is that situation. All right, how do we control this hill? And guess what? How do we have to fight for spawns for Natchez? I mean, it's doable, but it's going to be hard to get. Well, they can't win here anymore. Okay, so I was going to say, it'd be almost impossible to win it on this first hill. And now it is impossible. They have to do 2 things at once. Try to flip the spawns for second and hold on to this, but 3 go down. Temp with the turn and burn. That's going to be 4 dead. The hill wide open. Mac's going to get on it. Mac's going to win 2 gunfights, and Mac is going to close out game number 1 for the New York Subliners.
I was about to say, Mutineers might be okay because you saw the guy by pipes kind of watching the cross of the hard point, but Mac just comes out and smokes him, closes out the game. And what a big one it is now. And now what's interesting too is, as Lottie mentioned, and kind of we talked about, like, Mutineers is the better search team without question. But Subliners have been good on Ramaza, and that is map 2. So now, they can go up 2-0. Woo! Maybe Subliners see their first final.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked really about like the big 3 that Florida have had. The individual performances, Awakening a 1.39 throughout this weekend. You will see here maybe one of the worst games we've seen him play, 21-30. Another key to victory was accuracy and his impact going up against Skies. He goes 29-24 with a minute in the hill, but it's Mac 25-21, 2 minutes and 12 seconds on the objective, really leading the way.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't talked about either, it's kind of I guess the battle of the rookies in a way, right? Like Mac versus Awakening, both guys getting so much gas this year, both guys having great debuts for their team. Obviously Awakening, you'd say, has the better debut based on how they were able to win the event, but he also slotted into what many would say was the better team. So Mac, though, since his presence on Subliners, they have improved tenfold, it feels like, and now you kind of see these young phenoms going up against each other, and it should be a delight throughout this best of 5.
Yeah, got to give a lot of love to attach to. Finishes with 34 plus 12. I remember he had that hot start at 6-0. Really did just such a good job early on in that game. But here's a look. We talked about Mac and just the stats he's putting up. Just so consistent so far. And yeah, ever since that he's joined this team, yeah, it's a complete 180.
It certainly has been. I want to talk about a couple of guys on the other side of this too with the Mutineers. That'll be Pharaoh and Awakening and their impact, because Pharaoh, I guess he's been on the team for a while now, but still a new member to the squad as he came in about midway through the year. And Awakening just acquired a 1.26 in hardpoint. A big reason they probably went 6-2 last weekend, but there they fall short. And as you said, one of the worst performances we've seen from him thus far, because he has kind of been a rock for this team in that mode. I don't know what it is about New York there, but they match up great against Florida, and they're able to take the map 1. But now all eyes go to the search to destroy. But Subliners they've done part of the tough part so far. I mean, you said it'd be through the respawns. There's the map 1 win. Can they somehow pull out this search as well?
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to Ramaz, as we said, as you take out our U.S. Air Force quick scope, just overall. I mean, yeah, we talked about New York's hardpoint, right? It's their best mode, 20-18 overall on the side. For the Mutineers, yeah, their respawns have been insane all year.
The respawn's been so good, and the search has been improving, right? Like they haven't been a great search team, but it's been getting better and better over the course of these past couple weeks. Really their only vulnerability, though, but I still think I'd take them over Subliners, but who knows what'll happen on Ramaza. We'll now take a look at the Florida Mutineers full 5-man roster. It's changed so many times over the course of the year, but now it looks to be a staple. They look to be contenders, but they find themselves in a hole here early.
Yeah, for the New York Subliners, hasn't changed too much. Just the addition of Mac, bringing him in for 0. And since that point, they've been competing with the top teams. But we did talk about it, right? 2-8 against those big four squads. Can they get another victory here?
The game is ready to load. We're ready to get into Ramaza and see who can take the search and destroy. Yeah, maybe I'm overgassing like Mutineers and Search a bit. Like I guess I feel like I've seen them improve, but if you talk about the course of the entire year, it's still their weakness, right? And it's almost the exact same conversation for Subliners. So there's a lot of looking in the mirror between these two teams, as they've had a lot of the similar strengths and had a lot of the similar weaknesses as well.
Yeah, just looking at this map, a good one for New York. 5-1 overall, 2-0 versus Florida. But for Florida, 6-3. 2 of those losses do come to New York, so you take that out, and they're looking pretty dandy on Ramaza Search and Destroy.
We'll start off with Pharaoh. We know he, at times, will pull out the snipe on this map as well. Sky's going to catch a stun, a Simtex, everything hitting him currently mid, but he's able to stay up. As Frosty is just tucked away bottom cafe. You can see how many players just congregated around this mid-map area.
Yeah, you have a pretty heavy A presence right now for New York. Only attach and accuracy locking down the B site. See what Florida, which way they want to go. As the dead silence loads on up. Sky's just trying to get into a power position. Watching the crosses. Nade on over. Not sure if that hit. Pharaoh, though, he's going to find first blood on the Zuma. Temp in a good spot. And a big one-on-one versus Havoc. And Frosty goes down. But look at that. I think it's Skies. Yeah, Skies with dead silence actually pushes all the way through. But he's going to help his teammates. As Mac is top construction. Here comes Skies going to climb the ladder. He gets caught. Mac with his second round, all down to Awakening.
Awakening 1v4, and that'll be the end of that round. Clean from New York. They only lose one player, I believe, throughout the course of it all. Mac goes huge. Temp with a big one-on-one bottom bridge. You'll see Mac with the final kill there. What did you say their stat was on this map again?
Who, New York?
Yeah.
5-1.
Whew.
2-0 versus Florida.
It's actually crazy that they're 5-1 here.
Yep. Their search has been...
And their search is so bad,
mediocre.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was on the quick scope, but like, it's not great. And they're 5-1 here. It's like half their search.
And I will say, like,
map.
there's some VOD for them to study. So maybe that's why they sort of, you know, stack that A bomb site a little bit. As very quickly they go fast towards B. They take control of bottom cafe. Havoc trying to regain control, but attaches there for the trade. Because you got to think, Florida, they've played Dallas a couple of times past few weekends on this map. So there's definitely some VOD to watch.
But are you surprised like this wasn't banned by Mutineers, considering this is the one map Subliners have been great on?
No, I think it's just one of their go-tos. You know, they've had recent success. You're going to just carry that momentum.
Well, momentum's not doing diddly squat right now. As Subliners now up 2-0, inch by inch, closer and closer to their first home series final appearance. Still a ways to go in this series, but I don't know. I just feel like you can feel it if you're a Subliners fan. They've got a big chance here.
Well, 2 rounds in. Now this is typically how you're going to switch things up. That slow A didn't work too well. Let's see if they go for a bit of speed. It's Havoc, Frosty. Looks like they're going to try to take control of bottom cafe, just like New York did. But look at this stack from New York. They knew this was coming in. Zuma on a very fast flank through A. He gains all the info. You have a 4 stack inside of B. There is that Zuma flank. Max able to find Pharaoh. It's all down to Frosty and Havoc.
Havoc should be able to at least pick up one. Second challenge comes in. The re-challenge is
just
there.
A good call, man.
But yeah, I think you said it. Great call from Subliners. Good read. Quick flank from Zuma. All the information in the world. And I don't know how you're going to pull out an offensive round victory when you basically have a 4-man stack with a fast flank coming in.
I mean, yeah, just a good call. I mean, Florida, if they do the same thing they did last round, they probably have a free pick on the Zuma. A bomb site's wide open and it's done. But of course, it's hard to go back to a strat when you just lose that round. New York, they read it well. They take the shot. It pays off. Now up 3-0.
Mac 5 kills through 3 rounds, making his impact in search and destroy. And they're getting very aggressive through bottom cafe. No one there to stop them. The utility on point once again from Subliners. The first blood through. Is the tempo just insane from Subliners currently. 3v4 now from Mutineers. As Havoc is sniping from a bush.
Yeah. Trying to switch things up. Maybe slow down the aggression, but not able to do so.
Probably switched to Verdansk.
Man advantage still. Trying to work the site. See all of Florida around cafe and middle platform right now. Sky's just trying to make sure they don't get the bomb down. But Mac is going to find Havoc now with the 4 versus 2. Mac's going to find another one. 7-in-1 throughout this game, number 2.
Just an absolute beast. Mac continues to rock and roll. 8-1, averaging 2 kills a round, which is just insanity. The third in the round there on to Skies. This has not been close.
It has not. And I mean, New York offense, they haven't done anything particularly like, you know, unique that we've seen. It's just that quick B hit. They're finding the first bloods. They're staying alive. And when rounds typically get messy, like middle of the round for Ramaza, it's when those rotations come in, but they have been on point. And, well, a lot of that due to Mac in that round.
So, Joe, if Mutineers do lose this series, you got to give some credit to Bald Isaac Newton, right?
Why?
Because I said Mutineers wouldn't repeat due to the patterns that I saw in the universe.
Yeah, but you also said they probably wouldn't get out of groups, right?
Well, that was just icing on top, you know?
No, definitely no.
The point that I argued on Contested Point was that they wouldn't win again. So technically, Bald Isaac Newton would be correct, Joe. But it is 4-0 for Subliners here, as Mutineers gonna have to get some rounds going. Finally, a man advantage with what seems like the first time throughout the course of this game, too. Auto attach now, and he just gets swarmed and destroyed. Mutineers finally get a round win.
Yeah, they go right back to that A push. They're able to find first blood. Use those numbers inside of A. New York, they tried to work the flank. They tried to work through middle. Everything just shut down.
See if they can make some mid-game adjustments. It's been so good from Subliners in that regard. They need a big defensive hold here to claw back into this game. But Mac wants none of it. 8-2. Finally a round without a kill for him. And we saw Attach and Mac play this very aggressive earlier in the round. But this time, somebody's there for Mutineers. The adjustment there for Mutineers. Awakening able to line up both. Not a freebie through bottom cafe this time around.
Yeah, no, they're ready for the aggression towards the B side and really through middle. Zuma, Temp, they were trying to bring it back. I mean, if Zuma's able to win that one, would have made it a 2 versus 2 and very interesting. But now Temp with the M4, and, well, you can see he's basically surrounded. Doesn't know Awakening is right to his right outside Barbershop with that dead silence pop. Every lane locked down. But I will say, he's able to find a peek. It's not like these players are particularly close to one another. So maybe he can find something. He has dead silence as well. There's the first one. Has the smoke, worried about his back. Florida's not even worried if he goes for the bomb, but there's that dead silence play. Now Awakening trying to watch behind his teammate.
And this could have worked out beautifully. The timing on the cross, they rotate back to B. He hits the cross of dead silence. And now Temp, a chance to clutch a massive 1v3. He said, don't face me on Ramaza. Well, Temp, a chance to go huge here, because this likely breaks the back of Mutineers if he pulls this off.
Doesn't have Deddy anymore. Awakening and Havoc do not either. I think Awakening was up to 70%. So he's going to get all this information, but I love this. The smoke right away. This is going to force Temp's hand. Going to spot one and loses the gunfight.
Awakening comes through like a tornado. just buries him. Obviously, you got the advantage with MP5 in that situation, but he hits it so quick. The movement on point. Temp can't track him. And there will be no 1v3 clutch as Mutineers bring it a bit closer.
He wins that one-on-one. Maybe there's a shot, but yeah. It's just got to be a little bit cleaner on Temp's side.
Those stairs got shot a lot.
Yeah, well. Listen, I mean, the M4, it's not, you know, the M4 doesn't have a Merc 4 grip, okay?
Yeah, no, that is not, it's not an easy gunfight by any means. Back-to-back rounds now for Mutineers after getting smoked in the early going. Looks like they want to maybe get back to their round 1 push towards A. Maybe a little bit worried about aggression out of Subliners. They've surely been showing it on the offensive side.
And I think with the positions of Attach and Temp, yeah, you're going to see accuracy back off. Maybe watch middle of the map, help his teammates towards A. He'll be there for that fast rotation, just worried about the flank. Isn't going to spot anything.
It just seems
Here
like
comes that slow A push.
Subliner's just so good on getting information on the sites, right? Like, look how much information they have at B.
They're taking risks. I mean, Ramaza, there's a lot of timings, and there we go. Actually, he's going to find one. Watch number 3. Temp's going on a very wide flank. All the way around back barbershop. He's in the offensive spawn. He can make the play. Florida, they have to go.
And there's the pick. Temp through ruins, just hits it, able to get behind, and now how difficult is this for Mutineers? 20 seconds to work the plant. Mac, I thought he didn't see him for a second. He is going to spot him. That's going to be bombed down. Everything on Skies and Havoc now to clutch up in the 2 versus 4. Havoc will drop. Skies left alone. He hasn't been having a great map to begin with, and the pain train going to continue. Skies will fall. 5th round on the board for Subliners.
Yeah, they play the info game with how slow Florida is sort of executing. It allows accuracy to rotate over, get a pick middle of the map. It allows Temp to realize, okay, we're not hearing anything. We're at the half wall. As soon as you get a nade, right? We saw actually throw that nade, connect on a player top rugs. That is Temp's sign to, all right, I'm taking this risk. I'm going right away. And with Ramaza, at times, with the verticality, there's just so many lanes to watch. Usually there's an opening.
Mac into double digits. See if Subliners can close it out here. Go up 2-0. Nice shots from Frosty. A much needed first blood for Mutineers. I thought he was, teammate. Yeah, I thought he was going to shoot his teammate in the face, but Attach will do it for him. And they're going to wrap this out. There's really just Skies by himself. Over towards this A site. How quick does the rotation come in to help him out? Oh, no.
Okay, I would say Attach has Deddy, too. Attach is the point man, and he has Dead Silence. The Dead Silence pays off. Now they have control of the site. They have the man advantage.
And Skies must have heard something, because he popped Deddy to back up, so he knew they were coming, but maybe just didn't realize how fast Attach would get there with Dead Silence. Yep. Yeah. They're going to have to clutch a 3v4 to keep this game going. Peekaboo through the door. That's your teammate. Temp is going to get a team kill. Now it's a 3 versus 3. Pharaoh gets away with his life as well. Uh-oh. 2 versus 2. Not a lot of time to work with. Nice gunfight win there from Zuma. Now Havoc going to have to clutch to the 1 versus 1. Smoke out and he sticks it. It's all unattached to get the timing right. I think he heard him. He heard him. He gets it. He got it. He got it. Havoc clutches the 1v2. He hears him and through the smoke gets the kill, and Mutineers clutch up. That was terrifying, by the way. Just like those fights in the smoke.
I thought that was going to end up helping Attach, but Attach, he just doesn't shoot at the bomb. He sort of kind of moves forward. If he just hip fires that, maybe slides away, he wins it. He just need to wait 1 more second. But Havoc hears him. And wow,
that
keeps
reminded
them
me.
alive.
You ever play those Silent Hill games back in the day? They had the fog, and it made it so scary. Like the monsters would come out of the fog. Oh, you probably weren't born. You probably weren't born yet. Never mind. But that reminded me of that.
I don't know.
That made me jump, dude. Fog and monsters. Nah, just can't do it. Can't do it. Mutineers still in trouble though. Down 2 rounds. More smokes out, and through it they go. Havoc will get tucked away from front of their B house. He wants to say hi. I've got a delivery, and it's my MP5.
It's actually Awakening's MP5, but here comes Havoc. Accuracy trying to stay alive. The rotation all over middle for New York. accuracy, trying to just find one, not able to do so. And now how do you retake this? This is what's just so difficult once you lose this site, once you lose that B house.
Yeah, this goes the distance. What was the stat we talked about with Subliners yesterday? They're 5-0 in round 11, right?
With Subliners? Yeah, Subliners 5-0.
Well, that might get put to the test.
2-0 though for Florida as well.
Oh, really? All right, so we're going. If we go to round 11, both teams haven't lost. That'd be insane. Temp just beats the hell out of him, and now it's Temp versus Frosty 401v1. I may have spoke too soon. We may not get that deep into the game. Temp is gonna hop it. Will Frosty get the check? Oh no, he's backed up. He's backed up. Oh, he just gets the angle in time. Second. Yeah, that was darn close, but Frosty gets the kill and keeps Mutineers in it.
Ooh, they almost throw that round away. They almost do it behind a lot of individual plays from Subliner's side. And yeah, Temp is so darn close. I mean, I think that was Frosty's smoke, so he's just hoping that maybe Temp runs through it, tries to find a timing. He just goes for the defuse, and I love it, but Frosty's just able to peek that angle last second.
Think about it. What did Temp have? Mac had 8 through 4 rounds, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got 2 in the last 5, so maybe him slowing down, a big part of why Mutineers have made this surge. But they've got to win round 10 to keep the dream alive, and then 2 undefeated round 11 teams will battle it out. What a treat that would be.
And they go right back to the bread and butter at B. I mean, just pass through bottom cafe. They have control of the site and plan if they want, but everybody's still alive. Fair one, Frosty. Trying to find what they can with Awakening. Lurking middle of the stairs. Bomb down. 7.5 defuse.
Pharaoh with the first blood. Smoke out. That's going to allow Awakening to get up to the wall. He just tries to surge on through, and accuracy there, lying in wait. 4v3 for Subliners. Frosty brings it all even, but Mac insta-trade. Skies needs to trade as well. Skies has to trade. He can't do it. Mac gets the kill, and now instead of a 2 versus 2, it's going to be Havoc left alone, and Havoc can't do it through ruins. Subliners survive. It's a scary one, but they go up 2-0 over your reigning victors from our last home series. Wow, what a search to destroy that was.
Yeah, you talk about Matt coming into that round 10, and then he picks up 3 more to close it out. 13-4 for Mac. You know what? Don't even worry about those last few rounds. You know, able to close that one through. But Florida, they make it interesting. But going down 4-0, they don't make enough adjustments early on, and the play calls were there for New York.
Yeah, that's actually wild. Like he hasn't got a kill in 5 rounds. That may be the problem. Okay.
Okay,
hold
there
this.
you go. Problem solved.
Here's 3, and here's the map 2 win. Mac, brilliant performance, even if a little uneven over the course of the game, but he gets the clutch. We're going to take a look at the U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be from round 3, and it's going to be Zuma making the play. We'll check that out before we get ready for the domination. Oh, I know we talked a lot about Mac, but there were obviously big moments from a lot of the Subliners players.
Yeah, and this was just the play call, right? Just, all right, their A push didn't work. We're going to stack B. Zuma, you go on that fast flank, and, you know, that's what Zuma does best. Behind the dead silence, is able to find the play. In this game, New York, stellar 3-0 round. They're able to close it out, and with that lead, they're able to take it as a victory into game 2.
Well, maybe the underdog in this matchup, as Subliners have yet to see a finals appearance at a home series event, but over whom many consider the favorite, now up 2-0 in this best of 5. They only need 1 more map victory to get to their first final. Can they do it? We'll be right back.
of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Oh, I'm very proud of what he's turned this gaming career into. Something he loves to do. And I know there's a lot of grind and a lot of stress for these players, but still, he's one of the best in the world at it.
Silly, he's the one that's trying to make the play.
Silly, what have you got? You gotta keep firing, Silly! Keep shooting!
3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is game 5 against Atlanta FaZe. At this point, they hadn't lost yet. And the event previously, we had taken them to a game 5 and lost. So this is pretty much like essential. We absolutely have to beat them. Got him.
Who got Sim?
Me. I just hard challenge him while he's sniping.
You know, it's only Alex in the negative.
On this map, if most of your team is doing really well, the KDs don't mean so much. It's just about
So at
having
this
control.
point, we know it's over. We're beating FaZe.
Yep, I mean, unless they get 1v3 by Celium, it's over.
So when you're 2v1, you two get together and go right at him, right? You can't kill two people.
So on this map, it's a little bit different. You can technically play different sites and just hold the crosses because they know what part of the map he's in, so they can pretty much pinpoint where he has to go. He can only go around their side of the map on the back right or the back left, so all they have to do is watch one of the lanes. Nice, clean game 5. That's the cleanest game 5 we've had all year.
You're heading to today's final!
I wasn't pro immediately, you know, I was pro on and off. So having family support, you know, if I didn't have the support from my parents and if they weren't telling me like, oh, you can do it, you know, I probably would have stopped playing at some point. Father's Day always means a lot to me. I'm actually home for Father's Day. I leave the day after, so I am here. Every Father's Day, you know, I try and show my appreciation somehow, but he doesn't let me ever get anything for him whatsoever or give me information on what to get for him for Father's Day.
It's not really about gifts. It's about, you know, spending time with your son and just appreciating the relationship we've had.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. Thanks for always supporting me. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for you. Whether it was supporting me playing video games or, you know, helping me with my homework, I really appreciate everything you do for me.
Yeah, thanks for being a great son, you know, and grinding, doing the best you can at Call of Duty, sticking with it. Just bring us another championship on land soon.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. Good old land.
Welcome back to the Paris Home Series. It's CDL Sunday, and happy Father's Day to everybody watching from around the world, from the CDL family to yours. A very happy Father's Day. But now the focus back to the match at hand. Mutineers seem to be in trouble against the Subliners, and upset seems to be so close. And Joe, I know you and I were talking through some of the stats for Subliners with regards to Hackney Yard domination. Talk to me.
All right, domination Hackney for New York, 5-7, and you're probably thinking, all right, that's not like a great record, right? But I will tell you this: they have won their last 4. So at one point during the year, they were 1-7, now up to 5-7, and it feels like, you know, they're just. I mean, they've beaten Florida, Gorillas, Chicago, Atlanta. Those are some pretty darn good teams on this map.
So they've improved a lot as of late. I bet it's connected to the addition of Mac, who can be a tear on this map for sure. Is the Mutineers' chance at being our first back-to-back winners in here on Hackney, or can they extend the series? They're going to be put to the test. A chance of them falling right back into that rhythm of grand final, not a grand final, not a grand final. We'll see what happens with Havoc. Well, he opens it up with an early triple.
Early triple, but yeah, everyone else goes down. Awakening going to be the last player at B. So he's just trying to stay alive, buy his team time. But with that triple kill in the middle of the map, I mean, you're delaying this sort of A-B setup that we always talk about on this map for New York.
It's very true. And Subliners, man, they're going for the throat. They want to close it out here, but your champs and Mutineers desperately trying to battle back, show they can go back-to-back, show they're the real deal. So much to prove, and it all comes down to this map 3. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Florida Mutineers.
Blinking
He's going bottom hill. Bottom hill.
Nice, Caesar.
One shot, bottom hill.
Okay. One's there, long wall too. I'm hitting bottom hill. I'm hitting bottom hill.
One top L.
I got two. Bottom hill and there's one yellow there. There's one yellow.
Door. Going A. He's
going around.
Whoever's A, stay alive for me, okay? I'm coming to you.
Yeah, we're coming.
Let's get A. Let's get A, guys. Get A. One's watching. Nice, yo. Get A.
Yo, green crate, one shot. Green crate,
Top scap got me.
Green crate's going bottom hill. He's going bottom hill. Bottom hill, right behind him.
Milk. We have to get
Yo,
A.
stay. Hard stack A.
No,
there's two. There's three.
Be dead.
Try and get into B.
Back wall done.
I got naded.
Weak fire car. There's two long wall. We can get B. Only one can B.
One's Elsimer. We're still on green.
Only one cap B.
Top L. He's top L, I think. They have a trophy up there.
No, he capped. Last guy capped.
I'm
gonna
go
bottom here.
What's the right there?
I'm playing
Trevor
side.
side.
I know I'm here. They're gonna be looking for me.
On the box. On the blue barrel. Blue barrel.
Blue barrel.
Blue barrel dead. One scaff, one P1.
One still.
Nice. One's your P1 door.
I got naded. Hold on, I'm taking my time. I'm one shot. Killing. Dead. This side weak.
Top out.
Nice, go.
Yo, he's camping scaff.
Play kills.
We could hit the door.
Watch
I'm
out.
mooching and getting P1. I'm getting P1.
Yeah, I need top L.
One shot. They're white tubes. One shot. We got the mooch.
Top AC. Or top scaff, please.
Maybe I'm one shot.
Mutineers comms on point, and as we're about halfway through this first half, considering you've got A-side spawn for Subliners, a tie game right now, wonderful for Mutineers.
Yeah, and they had a chance to really get A. I think Awakening was making the play, but all of his teammates got taken down. I'm sure they would have loved to have that flip. It doesn't come in, but as you said, they have done a great job for the most part controlling C and just delaying this A-B setup. They haven't given New Yorkmen map control, and every time that cap does come in, they immediately at least neutral it to make it so difficult. Now a 3-point lead as they're locking down both C and B.
And this is huge too, I think, for Mutineers, because I feel like they still have some doubters. Even though they won that last event, there's still some doubters. And a lot of people still think FaZe is the best team in the world. You've watched FaZe, even when they're playing poorly, like clutch up in these game 5s. All these reverse sweeps, like this never die sort of mentality for FaZe. They always come back. I feel like this is a chance for Mutineers to prove they can do that too, in a way. Like, all right, we're down 0-2. Sure. We could be like FaZe. We could bring this back and win it in 5.
I just think, though, in terms of, like, we know how hard it is on Sundays with single limb, right? Like, I think it's more so just with the group that they were in and how they got out of that group, just to solidify a top 4, another semifinal. That should prove, like, all right, this is a consistently solid, over-around, good team.
It's true. I'm sure many were convinced this weekend. But Mutineers, they have A side now. They're going to lose B, but what a great half it's been with the C side start for them. Is this where the rally and the comeback maybe begins? We know how good they've been in hardpoint this year, especially as of late. Got to think maybe they can get us to a map 5, and if they do, Subliners don't have Ramaza to play again. So they'd have a good chance to take this series. With a 2-cap for Subliners, they'll be able to close this gap a bit, and really, a lot will be on the opening moments of this second half. Because we've seen some blunders with the A-side team, hell, even this weekend.
Yeah, and don't forget, just last night, I mean, New York, a very clutch team in domination. We saw it against their last series against Toronto, down 40. Obviously, a different map on Gunrunner, but still a very clutch team. Feels like, you know, the way they ended that half, feels like they're starting to, hit a bit of a heater. Mac was able to find a few kills, but yeah, you talked about it. This break just so important. Don't allow Florida to get comfortable with a B, just like Florida did just to them.
Yeah, and you think of like them on Petro or Gunrunner. Well, especially Petro comes to mind for Florida. Like when they get the trap on and they get comfortable, they can be one of the deadliest teams in domination. Just don't allow them to get to that point. Keep it scrappy. Keep it messy. We'll see if they can do that in the early game. Frosty's POV to start, as he looks to be pushing through straight to office, but he was just checking for any kind of push. I was about to say, I don't know if I'd recommend hitting that side early in the round in case somebody sneaks through, but it is a 2-3-man hit for Subliners right up the map. Let's see if they go to A or off the flank right through B with Skies with some quality shots from the top A building. And this is that 2-cap control, and this is them spawning office already.
Yeah, it was like a delayed mid-push, right? We typically don't see that. Usually, if we see something, it's very fast in the B to try to deal with it, or faster way to try to flip. But they do find 3 kills. Attach getting set up with this M4, just watching the cross. He has accuracy and zoom on B, getting that cap. And well, very quickly, they deal with that setup.
Yeah, that's a solid job considering you're in the 2-cap right away, spawning office. Awakening's having a hell of a map at 15 and 7. 8-point advantage still for Mutineers, but now they have to deal with the B setup for Subliners. Mac, a big part of the reason for the improvements for this team. We'll see if him and Attach can get the hole. They've got accuracy looking over him from the top as well. That's going to be 4 down for Mutineers, and so far, so good. Now it's Attached all the way through for Ed. They get those 3 kills. They just want to go. Now look where Mutineers spawn. They spawn out towards office. Here's the neutral at A. Can they get the full flip? Zuma trying to go big. Zuma able to take down one. Mac looking over, gets another. Now it's all going to fall to Attach, with multiple players here from Mutineers trying to hunt him down. But while this is going on, absolutely no one from Mutineers towards that B site. They do get a neutral on the other side at C, though.
I was gonna say, that's a heads-up play by Awakening to spawn up. His team found the kills. He just goes for that neutral, and what that neutral does is just keeps the pressure off them at that A flag for a bit. It's Frosty, he's gonna go right back towards C. He just wants to put really just try to weaken the setup that New York has towards the B side. And what is New York gonna do here? How are they gonna respond? You can either go back towards C or just try to push through towards A and flip the spawns. Zuma finds 2 kills. The AC setup is here, and it looks like they're going to try to opt it. I don't know. They're a bit split right now. You see where accuracy is, and they're just sort of just around the middle of the map. You have to get on the same page.
When you said that, when you go, you got to pick A or C.
They just went.
They sort of just stood there at B. I was like, are they gonna? They're gonna go somewhere eventually. I hope, but. Yeah, like we talk a lot about kind of zero hesitation, right, and being able to react to these situations quickly. Yeah, it seemed to be a massive hesitation where I don't know if there was a disagreement in the comms or they weren't really sure how they wanted to play it, but you still got this AC hold for Mutineers and a chance to maybe neutral B as well.
All right, another situation. Tie game. Where are you going to go? You got to pick a flag. You got to deal with it. Looks like they're opted to go towards A. Attack, Mac, Attach. They're able to find 3 kills. Zuma. He's just trying to play his life. Wait for his teammates to spawn on up, though. Awakening, he's here to help his teammate, and Pharaoh. They're trying to lock this down. And you can see off the spawns what his teammates do. They go right into B. That's Frosty. That's Havoc. And, well, this is looking good for Florida.
And think about it. It all comes down to what that Deddy push from Frosty to get C. Since then...
Yeah.
And that seems so long ago. Since then, Subliners just have been all over the place, just not being able to regain any kind of control. Attach will now get the neutral at A, wins the gunfight, but he can't get away. But the neutral will be big. They've got the numbers on B as well. So 3 players here, but Awakening goes huge against 2.
Numbers.
Oh, they had the numbers for a second till Awakening goes dad mode.
Yeah, he takes down 2. Buys enough time. His friends are there. Now Temp just trying to hold on to this neutral. Because you can see, every single time he's able to stay alive and he's doing such a good job. His teammates spawn very close C. They're immediately able to go B. The spawns have flipped. Florida spawning at C now. 8 points, though.
Oh, this is going to come down to the final seconds. This is going to come down to the final seconds. But look at that, number 1. Attach is going through for the neutral already. If they can hold it A. If they can hold it A, they weren't able to do it. Max give me the next point of attack to get there. Can he stop the neutral? He gets there just in time to stop that. And the neutral happens on the other side. Oh, he still had to secure. He did get the neutral.
I think they clutched up.
I think they may have done it. I think they may have done it with these final 20 seconds. Can they do it? Not anymore, though, as Mutineers answer back and get beat almost immediately. Oh, there's the capture at A as well. Mutineers do just enough to hold it off and extend this series to a map 4. I thought they did it. I thought they did it.
Yeah, I did too. I thought they had it, but a couple of those ticks came in with New York not getting any points. That allows Florida to get both A and B.
I thought at A, he stopped the neutral. He stopped the cap. For whatever reason, I was thinking that was the neutral stop. Like, oh my God, if he stopped the neutral and they still had that point, this is going to be a tie game within like 2 ticks. But they already got the neutral. And Mutineers, wow, they get it done, but a tight one, a 7-point game. Subliners nearly another crazy clutch. Let's take a look at the stats out from that map. Wow.
But really, it's behind that AC hold, right? Like you talked about Frosty and his play with just going for C at that point. New York felt a little bit lost. They all weren't on the same page about what they wanted to do. Maybe they were looking for Florida to overextend towards B, but that didn't happen. Florida just did such a good job consistently holding on to AC, and when the opening was there, going for that B flag.
Oh, what an unbelievable domination map that was, but we're not quite done yet. We're going to get to a map 4 and see if Mutineers can keep this going to get to back-to-back home series finals. But man, that was a fun one. I was just staring at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That last minute, I was trying to do what I could, but there were so many neutrals, so many captures going on. I was pretty darn confused. But you know, Florida gets the win.
Yeah, no, it's fun. The madness is fun. But yeah, it can be hard to. It can be hard to track, but speaking of these nail-biting finishes, I saw a tweet out from Scump yesterday. This is the Astro Social soundboard. He said they get more anxious watching Call of Duty than playing it. And that's like wild to me, because I know us as commentators how anxious we get watching a match. But like for you, Joe, like I would imagine like as a player, you got more anxious than when you're calling these games, or you just so locked in you don't?
I think maybe like game 5, like, you know, before that game gets underway, we're at commercial break, like you start thinking about it. But a lot of the times when you're a player and you're in game, it's just, yeah, you tend not to think about it. There's nothing you can really do. Game 5, round 11, I will tell you, the nerves are absolutely there.
I could imagine. But yeah, I guess it's something where you're so locked into the game. There's so much going on. You can't really think about anything else. It's like impossible because there's so much you have to digest as a player. But yeah, I saw some of the other guys responding to that, and they're like, yeah, no, same. Like, watching it just stresses me out. Oh, well, some of these matches have been nuts. Now, getting ready to start our map 4. The only time we saw Mutineers lose 2 hard points in a series last weekend was against Huntsman. From there on, they were perfect 6-0. It's hard to imagine
won that series, right?
Yeah, but it's hard to imagine they're going to lose 2 hard points in this series. I think more than likely we're going to a map 5, but I don't know, man. Subliners, they seem to be clicking.
Yeah, just looking at the stats for this one, these teams are even against one another at 1-1, but New York overall 4-5, Florida Mutineers 6-4, and you know, we talked about accuracy and Skies, the impact that they make with the M4, and we have seen some absolute bombs. I think of Formal, I think of Assault, I think of Skies, Slasher. The M4 players can take over.
They certainly can. We'll see if that'll be the talking point when we're done with this map 4, or is it one of the youngsters, an Awakening or Mac, leading the charge for their team. Right out to top cafe goes Frosty. Able to take the first fight. That's going to be 4 down almost instantly for Subliners. That'll get them set up close to bridge. Back construction spawn still there, though, for Subliners.
Yeah, Frosty doing a great job just controlling the cross towards middle. Does get taken down. But Pharaoh inside. Pharaoh not the best game number 3. But his team gets him to a game 4. A 3-0 start, just trying to play his life inside. Able to find the MP5, makes it 4 kills in a row. Can he make it 5? Not able to do so as Temp flies on through. And a nice start for Florida. The goal right now for New York, just control the side that they have as we rotate over to Electronic Shop.
Well, you spoke about the goal for the Subliners. I kind of want to hear their comms in transition to the next hard point. So let's go right to an Astro Gaming Listen-In with Subliners.
I'm going to the Dig a top 3. Someone look my flat. Pull out AR. Don't look my flat. Or someone. Whoever spawned up. Stand back. I can't peek, guys. I'm about to push up. Havoc's push up front. I'm about to push up front. Give me a sec. I'm pushing sand.
I'll look front.
Have your sand. I have church plat.
Come on, church plat too.
Church plat for sure. Two church plat. Spawn TV, one shot. Alright, I'm pulling out an AR on the middle. I'll tell you where I spawn.
What's on front?
Smoke sandbag.
He just came.
Side.
Nice. Flood in.
I back hole. They need back hole.
Nothing sand.
I'm nading my down. Right side, Bill.
I need the right.
Laying down in hill. Back hole dead. Nice. Look at the trophy. Nice. Just praying. It's time, boys. Front. One shot front. Havoc. Look front.
Stay back.
I made it front. Get the rest of this 30. Looking sandbag. Sandbag.
I'm getting out.
Two more. One more hit front. Two behind you. I got one. I got one.
Top mid or
I got one. Go in. Top mid, yeah, in the corner, top mid.
I got one on you.
I'm nading him. Good shit. Play your light top mid too. He's naded top mid one shot. He doesn't have flash. The scrap.
In the back, guys. Awakening in the back of new.
He's gonna be top mid ladder. Got one BS&D.
Top mid.
Pillar skies. Pillar skies. One top mid then. Nice. Pillar skies, guys. Yo, right pillar skies weak.
Yeah, one dark.
Hitting on the right.
Front hill.
Hold to your dark dead.
Front right hill. Front right barrel. Oh, entry. Front right barrel. Leave a thorough tree.
Dead.
Someone got me. 3 steps weak.
Got one front. One
back,
3
steps weak. Stay down. They could spawn so. Nade 3.
I got
Back right weak.
Nice. Mac with a multi-kill. Subliners, though, down 20. And Joe, during that listening, you and I were chatting kind of about their Ramaza hard points coming into this. What can you tell me about both of these teams?
Yeah, it's interesting for New York. While this is one of their go-to maps, they have lost their last 3 to Chicago, OpTic Gaming, and Toronto. Where Florida, I imagine due to their momentum, has won 3 in a row versus Gorillas, Dallas, and the Legion. So, you know, we talked about it in game number 3. Another situation here in game 4.
Absolutely the case, but a lead change happens, if only for a moment. Subliners do take control. Now attach and accuracy, trying to jettison their way across the map and get set up inside of construction. Triple there for accuracy, but now how do Mutineers work this break? 1 up the back ladder, 2 towards bridge, 1 hitting front door. The collapse seems to be coming from everywhere. Will Subliners be able to hold? It seems to be a split in the kill department so far, but now Mutineers take over, and there's the big break.
Yeah, 2 from Skies, 2 from Havoc. That just opens things up. It started off like with New York winning every single individual one-on-one. In that scrap time, now on board with Awakening. Not having the best game here. 3-8, but pulls out the M4 on rotation. Trying to lock down Ruins. Nice shots on attempt, nice shots on a Mac, but the nade is there. New York is here, set up for this next hill.
It's like, you know, you mentioned that can kind of be more of a money hills of late, but there's still like 62 entrances in the construction. Yeah. Like,
well, it's the way teams are setting up, like just trapping them back. Barbershop, we didn't see that with accuracy's 3 kills. They just flooded on through, so that was a nice break by New York.
Now inside of Ruins. Attach the one making the plays. Skies, all he sees is smokes, and well, the tail end of some bullets from Mac as he's able to beam him through it. 98-98 the scoreline. What a tight series this has been thus far. Attach 5 in a row. It's 16-8. He'll drop there, but he's having himself one hell of a series.
Yeah, he really is. He even just off the start of game 1, right, where he drops 34. But even with that nice first half from Attach, and the rest of his team, Florida's still able to regain control. It looks like they're going to take the lead as we go back to bridge.
I thought Frosty was dead for sure, and somehow slips away like a slithery little snake. And gets the kill somehow, some way. Frosty with dead silence pop, just trying to patrol the backside. Make sure the pinch can't happen. They win it on the wrong side of the map. Oh, that wasn't great timing for Frosty, though. He turns right as they come through.
Yeah, but it's great time overall on this bridge hill. I mean, Havoc's just been hanging out. Great control. Pharaoh watching over his teammate with the M4. A nice nade out of accuracy, and then M4 kill, but Frosty's going to get right back on with that smoke. The lead now up to 40. It was just 10. New York, it's set up once again, though, at Electronic. A chance for them to, you would hope, at least tie it up. If Florida is able to break this hill, this setup, this could be scary for New York.
This is one of those big moments. There's a couple every game that might define who's going to take it. This needs to be a big hold from Subliners. Here come the Mutineers. Accuracy, doing everything in his power to try and hold the push. They're hitting from both sides. 3 are going to drop into the hard point already, or Mutineers. It looks like things crumbling for Subliners. Skies, Pharaoh, Awakening, take them all down. All 5 players drop into the opening 15 seconds of the hard point. Mutineers break in, and they may have won the game right there.
And it was interesting the way they did it. It was with 3M4s. I think they used those 3M4s just for that bridge hill, but because they had such a good hold, they carry those over one more time inside of electronic. And that's tough sometimes. When a team is set up inside that hill, how do you break with 3M4s, right? Typically, that'll slow you down. You want more subs to break. But they're able to do it. They're able to find all 5 kills, and now you see that lead up to 100 points.
Oh. It was a huge moment, and it's all Mutineers now. What an insane comeback you need to pull off for Subliners. They've got Barbershop locked down for now, and a nice little even spread across mid-map to delay any kind of push. Dead Silence now out of Zuma, and he's got the angle on 2. Havoc, though, with a little jump shot. Not able to finish him. But here comes Havoc. Door is closed. Peekaboo he goes. Able to take down Mac. Awakening now pinching from the other side. It's more disruption in the point. The break seems to be there. Zuma going to be the last one up. And again, Mutineers do it.
Yeah, they can't give up this time, so they have to go. And it looks like their pushes are staggered. Look at it, where they're spawning. Temp just so far out. Mac just so far out. Then you have the position of Skies in the middle of the map. Awakening on a 5 spree up to 24 and 15. And remember, he had like, I think he started off like really slow, like 0 and 6 or something. So he turns things around with this M4. It's going to be 2 money hills in a row. Now just 8 points away from sending this to a game 5.
If you care anything about that Mac Awakening battle, what a wild one it has been over this best of 5. Mutineers put it away, and they get us to a map 5, 250 to 133. And I'd love to know just how many points Subliners scored over the final couple minutes of that game, because it was not
it was
many.
When we went into bridge, it was like 113 to 103, I think, in favor of Florida. And then after that,
so 150 to 20, basically.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, around that, 140 to 20 or so. I mean, they had such a good hold at bridge. They then take that to an easy break in electronic, which shouldn't be a thing. And 10 seconds into Barbershop, they get another break. So it just comes down to those New York holds.
Whew, what a map it was. Now a look at the stats from our game 4 hard point before we get ready for a map 5. Reverse sweeps and game 5s have been the storyline so far for a lot of these top teams. If you take a look at last weekend with Mutineers having to get past Empire in a map 5, FaZe seeming to do it every single series, like 5 of their last 6 they've had to do it. Now another map 5 here from Mutineers. It all comes down to the map 5s. And I love myself a good map 5, Joe.
I mean, you and I, we typically don't get many, right?
When
this is our second one of the weekend. This is our second one of the weekend, Clint. So this is like a celebration that we're about to have. It's a party. It's a fiesta. And I love fiestas because we had chips and salsa.
Woo! Game 5 coming up after this break. It's Mutineers, Subliners. Do not go anywhere.
Thousands and thousands of hours of hard work lead to this moment.
The Mutineers will go in with a small lead. The Mutineers will have the advantage.
Now they're on your point. Look how close it is, Joe! A millimeter!
What a round! What a round!
Want to play Search and Destroy like a pro? Here's some S&D recon from the U.S. Air Force. This time, we're flying over the snowy mountains to get some recon on Arklov Peak. First, let's look at the bomb sites. Bomb site B is on the first floor of the house in the middle of the map. If the bomb's planted at B, expect some chaotic close quarters fights inside the house. Meanwhile, bomb site A is out in the open, right by the broken house and the ditch. Bomb site A is super exposed, so be wary of enemy snipers and grenades. If you're on defense, be sure to watch the field for any attackers wrapping around the map. In addition, watch mid-map for any attackers pushing bomb site B or pinching bomb site A. One spot to watch mid-map from is right here. Hop on the top of the awning and you'll be able to catch anyone pushing the middle of the map. If you don't see much towards bomb site B or mid-map, you're probably going to see a ton of pressure on bomb site A. If you position yourself right behind this rock, you'll have a clean line of sight down both the broken house and the ditch. If you're on offense, there's a good chance you'll be facing some enemy snipers on bomb site A. If an enemy's shooting at you from the house on the opposite side, run up to the second story of this building and fight back. If there's an enemy holding the ditch, you could just run out and take the 1v1 duel. Or, if you're brave enough, grab an SMG and run straight at them like TJ Halley. If you want to hit bomb site B, check out this play from the London Royal Ravens. After securing a kill mid-map, they dropped 2 smoke grenades on the house, one right in front and one on the awning. Jared and Dylan jump into the second floor, while Scrap sits in the field to prevent any enemy players from jumping in through the window. This move isolates the only player on defense, making it much safer for Dylan and Jared to clear the house for the bomb. Once the bomb's planted, FaZe has to get inside to defuse, but because London took early control of the house, FaZe don't have any easy way inside. By the end of the round, the London Royal Ravens managed to pick off all of the remaining FaZe members, winning their offense on bomb site B. There's your S&D recon for Arklov Peak. Good luck down there.
That was a look at S&D recon presented by U.S. Air Force all season long, taking a look, a deep dive into how some of the pros play these maps. And guess what? Map 5, it's on Arklov. You're going to see those exact moments in action here for these two teams. And Joe, what's I think interesting here is we talked about Subliners' overall record this year in Search, not good, right? But they were 5-1 in Ramazza. We got map 2. That means everywhere else they can't be great. What are they, like 1-4 here?
It's actually kind of interesting for both teams. I mean, Arklov 3-5 for New York overall, and for Florida 2-6. So obviously a little bit different for Florida because they've had so many different rosters and whatnot. But still, I mean, 2-6 not their best one. And for New York, one of the last times we saw them was against OpTic Gaming, and you know, you just saw Zuma make a lot of different plays.
I wonder where I got the 1-4 from. I was looking at their game 5 stat. Yeah, so it's 1-4 in game 5 for Subliners, 5-2 for Mutineers in game 5. So big edge in game 5, but an interesting map for both teams. Let's get it rocking.
And a lot of the success that we've seen from New York, at least earlier, has been Zuma, right? Just sort of making his presence known inside that trench at A, but it looks like it's going to be a slow B hit. Working their way up the middle of the map, but actually he's going to get taken down with a quick trade from Temp.
Yeah, we talked a lot about accuracy and Zuma on this particular map. Can they find?
Yeah, actually as well, mid-stairs. We'll talk about it on their defense, but he goes there often.
The Mutineers watch it because they've been playing it quite a bit this weekend. 4 versus 4, though, as time is starting to dwindle. Subliners have to find a point of attack. 2-2 split from Mutineers, so not a huge presence really at either site from a stack perspective. how quickly can the rotation come in once they get the information? Because subliners have to go. Yeah, it's utility time. It's got to come out. Now the nades come in. This should be the rotation. Havoc lying in wait. I thought he was going to lose that gunfight for a second, but he's able to stay up. Attached over the pick from the back line. Now 2 versus 2. Bomb yet to be planted. Mac trying to get there, but he's stunned. Just get in. He's stuck in glue. Plant it. Go. Ooh, it's close. There's a haircut through, but Pharaoh doesn't hit the shot. Now 2v2 post plant.
Oh, is his hip?
Oh, that's not his hip. That was directly into his butt, Joe. Pharaoh. Now in a 1v1 versus attach, and Pharaoh able to take it. He gets both of the final kills as Pharaoh goes huge in round 1.
Yeah, but the key was really for Skies and Havoc just to slow down the push, right? To give them an opportunity in the 2 versus 2. Because we've seen that sometimes during those fast rotations where if the player really cutting off that push doesn't find a kill, the round is almost over, right? You at least want trades to allow your teammates to rotate from that bomb with even numbers. They're able to give that 2v2. The stuns and the nades were able to connect, and well, Pharaoh with the snipe able to close out the round.
Big clutch there for the round 1. Pharaoh starts out 2-0, but I hope we get more rounds like that. That was down to the final seconds. Absolute insanity throughout the first. Pharaoh, can he keep it going with the snipe? Nope. His attach that hits the shot. Awakening, gonna get dropped. Nice defensive start for subliners.
And there are some adjustments from New York, right? Like we talked about accuracy in his position. It looks like he's starting off on a slow B. I mean, if we know he goes mid-stairs a lot, you know Florida does.
Yeah, and he was mixing it up yesterday.
And now you can use your numbers, the rotations here. So there's 4 players here. There's going to be a lot of nades coming in, and there's one of them. You hear the second. They're trying to double it up, but that's going to miss. So some utility gone.
And they might think trench is clear, at least for now, because Havoc, I think, avoided most of those nades. I'm not sure if they got a hit.
I don't know if like a stun, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they got a hit marker or not.
Well, that's a good trophy that goes down. Stops the smoke. Sounds like they were able to find a second one. Bomb about to be planted, and Zuma's going to use dead silence. I love this. Attach watching over him. He uses the smoke to his advantage. Uses his Dedede. Temp finds that. Zuma with another one. He's been so good in so many of these positions, and he does it again.
Zuma with the aggression makes the play, and then a freebie to close it out onto Havoc. But yeah, no hesitation. Catches him on the bomb plant and basically wins the round there. Great stuff from Zuma, who has been so good on this map all weekend. We'll see on offense if he gets some of those lurks. I mean, that's where he's making a lot of the plays, right? Through the trench on offense, whether it was with dead silence or not.
He just kind of goes. Well, I don't know if necessarily lurks, especially he just goes, and we might see it right here.
It's harder without Dedede. Oh no!
It's harder without Dedede, but he's getting into this position. Stun was there, the nade was there, and that's where he's just been so good. But Pharaoh's going to take down his teammate. Can Zuma try to even things up? Havoc absolutely hears that, so he's giving that call out. As you said, no dead silence.
Well, it's close, though. It's real close. He's going to have it, what, 5 to 10 seconds. So this might be a Dedede push once he gets it. I am one with the rock.
Now, as this is developing, watch number 4. That's accuracy, maybe trying to work middle of the map. Go through a late flank during the round. We'll see what he's able to find as he pops dead silence. Spot any on rotation. You just gotta find Havoc. Havoc's the key man right now.
Peekaboo. It's a surprise. Havoc comes in, stops that plant. And now he's just gonna lay prone and wait. The challenge comes in, though. Zuma's able to win a big one. Can he get this bomb down? Accuracy still in a great spot. He's able to find a kill. Chance for a big clutch. Now 2 versus 2.
They can't plant. He's got to get there. They got Zuma. Skies killed Zuma on the bomb, and that's going to be the round.
I thought they had the plant for sure when we hopped to Zuma's POV. I'd love to see from Skies what angle he got that he was able to rip him off the plant.
It was right before this. Yeah, it was right before this. I don't know if he had Mac inside the trench, but yeah, because it went all the way down to the wire, because Havoc was able to just waste so much time, they don't get the plant.
But how does he kill him there on the plant? Like,
I don't know. Maybe an angle from up top that he was able to get.
Yeah, must have saw a foot, a hand, a ear, something.
And with like accuracy's position, right? Mac doesn't want to give up his spot. He only has an MP5. The only AR watching over Zuma would have been accuracy, but he was middle of the map.
Attach takes Pharaoh out of the round. Right as it starts, Zuma once again just wants to fly through a smoke. But it's a 4v4 in the early going. Skies has gotten pushed up to a pretty aggressive position here offensively, but he's absolutely by himself on an island.
Well, so is Zuma, right behind that fence. Zuma's position will just cut off that front door push, but it looks like Florida's going to rotate on over towards A. Still have attached with the sniper, should be able to get that information. It's similar to what accuracy did. Skies is trying to do the exact same thing, just from a different angle. You might actually find the opening, because you see the way Temp's set up all the way back trench, the way Zuma is. He has dead silence. Here comes the push. Awakening. He's going to find Mac. Mac just not ready for it.
And now they're going to go, and Skies' timing should be perfect. Right behind him. Can't take down two, but at least disrupts the rotation as it comes in. Temp, lovely shots, but this will be for a 1v3. 2 players remaining, and Awakening and Havoc that he's got to take down. And they're just going to back it all the way up.
Very interesting challenge from Frosty, but I think he was just trying to go for the very fast trade. Them still had some time, but had to spot both players. Not able to clutch it. Florida now put some distance between themselves. Up 3-1.
Well, when Subliners went out to the 4-0 lead, you saw Mutineers roar back into it, end up pushing it to a 10th round. Feels like we're going to need to see Subliners do something of the same. Otherwise, they're getting reverse swept out of this tournament. A painful loss that would be. But when you took a look at the maps, they got better and better for Mutineers the later you got into the series.
Oh, Awakening just able to get out of dodge, and Skies is going to connect the nade right under Zuma's feet for the first blood.
Oh, yeah, from Tim's POV, you just saw limbs flying everywhere. That was gruesome. Now, what do they do from mid-map? They've gotten here. What's going to be their plan of attack? Because now everyone rotating over to help deal with this. Accuracy, Simtex does hit. Look at all 4 of them in like a 20-foot circumference. Just set up here mid-map. Awakening's going to get back down for now, and now they're going to go.
Just trying to find a team shot onto a player, right? I mean, they all hit their shot. Someone from Florida is going to go down fast. They all get inside the house, and now this doesn't look that terrible for New York, but they have to get the kills. They have to get the fast trades. Awakening with 2. The re-challenge is in. Gives them the 2-man advantage.
I love that re-challenge. I love it. A confidence out of Awakening. Catches him off guard. Attach gets put down. Mac now. Last alive. 20 seconds to go. Can he make the play? There's one up top, though, and it's Pharaoh. But you got to give all the credit to Awakening. The fact he gets 2 from the top steps. A huge, huge moment in a 4th round win for Mutineers, where you're in a 4v4, you've got the B building locked down, you're feeling very good about Subliners' chances, but Awakening says, no, sir, not on my watch.
And just gets that headshot with the M4. And honestly, he was a bit by himself, right? Like, that would, like, no nades really came in. It was all Awakening. He was still waiting for his teammates to rotate on over. It was just, when were they going to go? But he makes it a lot easier for his team.
Yeah, and it's like they knew he was there. They spotted him a couple times. I'm surprised he's able to, like, he caught the first player sprinting, I believe, just trying to maybe catch a timing on him, but it just feels like either of those Subliners player a little bit more gun up, they likely get the kill. Pharaoh might have a, he's gonna be right in your face. Well, Zuma, we know he likes to make that push, catch them maybe on the offsite, but you still got Pharaoh here.
They go back to the setup. They try putting accuracy middle of the stairs, and look what Florida did. They sent 3 into that area. They were able to find that kill, so Florida was ready for it. That was like that was the defense that worked so well for New York this weekend. With Zuma getting aggressive trench side, just giving them the info, and just, well, what does Florida have to do? They have to flood into accuracy, but they were ready for it. They countered both of them.
Feels like they watched them play this map.
Yep.
Taking out accuracy and Zuma is such a huge part of getting these offensive round wins. Mac, though, tries to slow down this push as they've all wrapped it back to A. Mac and attach, going big on the site. That's going to be bombed down now. Mac going huge still. 2 versus 2. 10 seconds to go. They've got to somehow work. A plant bomb is down. Not sure how they're going to do it. Barrow's just holding the back with a snipe. Someone's got to grab this bomb. Mac gets the timing on the cut. No time to plant, but they're not going to need the time to plant because he's able to find the kill. You've got to be kidding me.
I'm actually surprised Mac got as aggressive as he did. Attaches on the bomb. I think with 10 seconds left, I think at that point, there's
somebody
a good
get
shot.
out.
One of you can run away,
yeah,
right?
Somebody get out.
I think you can run. But they were so committed.
Oh,
it's another heartbreaking round.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 of those that New York has had.
Oh.
Talk about the skies play. That's 2 rounds right there, right? Where the bomb doesn't get planted, and then that little 2v2 skirmish.
Zuma back to Zumaville. And there's that pick onto Pharaoh. You saw him just dominate Dashy in that position at the start of the weekend. But it's a 5 spree now for Skies. That'll stop as Attach is able to chain together the headshots, and quickly Frosty and a 1v4.
Ooh. They just go straight up aggression. They say, you know what? Screw it. Let's go guns blazing. And that's what they do. They go very fast to that B site.
Subliners are going to have to do that 4 more times in a row. Mutineers are a round away from another finals appearance. Just unbelievable form from them as of late. They see the reverse sweeps from FaZe. They see all the game 5s from FaZe. Now it's their turn. Look at it clutch up with authority here.
Arrow just watching over. Accuracy, though. First blood on the Skies. Makes it a little bit tougher, but now you're probably looking for Pharaoh to try to even the odds. He's not going to see much outside in that field. It's a very tight setup around mid and both the sites.
Ooh. Accuracy just gets away. You guys got to make a decision, though. There's just 35 seconds left to go. At this point, I think you got to go B. He still don't have time to really wrap it back. Smokes out. Here comes the flood into the house. What a big win that is for Frosty. Attach gets taken out. Or sorry, Accuracy gets taken out. Attach drops. There's one that's a team kill. Zuma, I thought he had them both. But Frosty does take him out. Now going to be a 1 versus 1. 15 seconds to go. Frosty does have bomb in his hands. Wants to clear it before he tries to get the plant. He jumps out. Mac is there. Mac clutches up. But what an insane sequence that was by the B site. That was wild.
Yeah, you saw Tem playing it from the top window, and I think he was just trying to play in that smoke, and then I think Attach's nade comes over, right? And he's a little bit weak, takes him down. Almost some bad timing for New York. They're still alive, able to put together 2 rounds in a row. Now, can they win another offense?
Last time it was the all-out aggression that worked out. Do they go right back to that? What, 2 players set up towards A with Havoc ready to make maybe a quick mid-flank or wrap back if needed. Pharaoh seems to be ready this time, but not gonna matter. This is Zuma's trench. That's gonna force Skies now over. Havoc's gonna have to wrap back as well.
Nice nades. And that's what a lot of teams just weren't able to do, right? Like when we watched them play, like, it just felt like they couldn't get a nade on Zuma. But Skies with a few bullets and Havoc's nade over top will at least make this a 4v4. But again, you gotta watch that number 4. It's accuracy, working the wide flank, going up through the middle of the stairs. Doesn't have dead silence yet, but he's gonna try to get to mid alley through the mid, and that could be the play, or could it? His team getting pushed right now. Here comes accuracy though, trying to find Havoc. Doesn't get the angle. Havoc stays alive. Havoc finds 2.
Now it's all on Mac. 1 versus 3. 20 to go. Somehow has to get a plant in a flurry of Mutineers players, and working up for the angle is going to be Skies. Should be the final kill, and that'll do it. The reverse sweep is done. Mutineers go down 0-2, take 3, 4, 5, and get to yet another home series final, and one step closer to being the first team this year to take 3 of these tournaments. What a clutch that was from the Mutineers, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just always tough when you don't close them out in that game number 3. Just how good of a hardpoint team that we've talked about they've been, especially with Awakening on this roster. You give them another hardpoint, you go into the search and destroy. Skies with 11 kills on our cloth peak to end the match, and yeah, I mean, they survived, right? It's just that game 3, that domination that was just so back and forth.
And yeah, Subliners very well could have won that, right? Came down to the final couple of seconds. If it wasn't for Frosty getting that AC set up for Mutineers, things probably don't get as out of hand. It put Subliners in a really tough position. But yeah, again, when you look at the best of 5, it got better and better for Mutineers. You feel like you kind of had to close it out in that map 3, and they almost did it. They were so close to their first finals appearance, but just come up a little bit short. But props to Subliners, though, on the other side of this, in the sense of they're clearly getting better and better. They're getting to semifinals consistently now. They look way better with Mac. They're pushing one of the top teams in the game the distance. Subliners, they're a solid squad. Mutineers just proved a little bit too tough right now.
Well, the problem is again, you go to that point, we brought up the Riker, now you're 2-9 versus these teams, and
it's true.
You have to start to be able to close these games out versus some of the better teams in the world if you want to get to finals, if you want to win these home series.
Very true, Joe, but let's take a look at the scuff play of the game now from Awakening. It's going to be in round 5. As Awakening, another fantastic series from him. He continues to impress, but this is where they start to put it away.
Yeah, and it's not all that bad. You thought it was going to be a scary round, but actually gets the nade over, able to make it a 4 versus 4, and they get in the sight. But the re-challenge onto attach gives his team a 2-man advantage, able to make that retake so much easier. So what, you have this Awakening round, you have this Skies round where he's able to find 2 kills, able to find Zuma on the plant. Those are the 2 rounds that really stick out to me. Those are a little bit cleaner for New York. If they don't, throw those away, this could go the distance.
Yeah, like when Pharaoh just able to snipe and barely through the sight. Skies must have done something similar with his pick. Just a game of inches sometimes where they were able to find the angle.
Paradox told us it was right under the box, he said. So I just think there was no angle. Nobody was watching over him because you had Mac in the trench. You had accuracy middle alley.
Unbelievable stuff. But Mutineers move on, and now all that's left is the big 3 at the tournament this weekend for the Paris home series weekend. FaZe and Empire will match up.
A banger up next.
That should be a phenomenal series, and it's got to be stressful if you're Empire FaZe just knowing, all right, we got to go through one of these top teams, and then we got Mutineers waiting that just beat us last weekend, so it is not going to be an easy road on this CDL Sunday for either of those squads.
No, it's going to be a fun one. I mean, Atlanta and Dallas, they've had some great series. Dallas wants to play for Florida again, 0-2 these last couple of matchups, and for Atlanta, they want to win another one.
They certainly do, but let's take a look now at where the points sit. If the season were to end today, how would it look? What would the champs breakdown be as far as where you're starting round 1, round 2 of winners, losers bracket, how it plays out? The big thing yesterday was OpTic jumped Legion. Or sorry, Subliners jumped Legion.
Yep.
Now Subliners able to jump OpTic as well, as OpTic had just an embarrassing result this weekend, and Subliners continue to improve. So yes, they're all on the bubble, but maybe Subliners get a little bit of clearance from the bubble.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fun last couple of events as we take a look at our CDL points presented by Game Fuel. And this is what we're talking about. It's really from that 6 to 12 range. Anything is possible because you have Gorillas getting better. Seattle, maybe. We still need to see a lot more. But Toronto, you know, we know what they can do. They've gotten to a semifinal. Paris is the one team who seems to be in sort of that continuously downward spiral. But OpTic,
you feel pretty good at your rocker. You got so many semifinals early in the year because there are about 4 or 5 teams below you that might be playing better than you right now. But there is your damage dealt leaderboard presented by PS4 at the top. It's Awakening. He had the most kills at the last tournament, the most damage in this series. Seems like one of those amateur players that, and he is here to stay. A great performance from him, but I believe we're actually going to have Coach Atura from Florida with an interview with Rich after this. We don't get coaches in the interview box all that often, so it'll be awesome to hear what he says. And then we have the FaZe Empire semifinal right around the corner. Man, what a matchup that is going to be, and excited for that interview as well, Joe.
Yeah, I am as well. Yeah, getting to be able to talk to Atura, but unfortunately for him, he has to talk to Rich.
Yeah, that is the tough part of it. Would you rather talk to Lottie or Rich? I think we all know what that answer will be. We'll be right back.